Can you tell us a little bit about how your movie came together?
My movie was illustrations, like storyboards. I put a camera behind me and I basically shot myself drawing different stories about my life. I was a little frustrated with computer animation at school, and I do storyboards anyway. I do storyboards for music videos, and I worked on The Sopranos here in New York, and I decided to tell a story with drawings. So basically that's what it is, a lot of drawings and drawings about my life. The word S.P.I.C comes from, what I was called when me and my brothers lived in Chelsea, Massachusetts. They called us S.P.I.C, and we didn't know what it meant. And later on we found out, and there was a lot of problems. We started fighting and stuff. And but the kids told us it meant special person in Chelsea. So that's where that comes from. So,
how long did you believe that?
For like a year. Yeah, it was like a year. And when we found out, there was a lot of fights after that. But I always told myself that if I did a short film and I got a chance to do a movie and put it out there, that I would call it that. I would use that word as my title of my movie. So,
what stories didn't get told?
The story that didn't get told was like the S.P.I.C story, like when the kids called us that, and also there's other stories like when I was at gym, my father couldn't afford sneakers for us, so I had black shoes on and I played basketball in black shoes, and I used to slip and slide all over the place. And one time I made a shot and it was the wrong team. People were cheering, but it was the wrong team. Stories like that, embarrassing moments in high school and things like that. Another day, my mother was out sweeping the front of the house, and a car went by her, and they started shouting racist words and racist names, and they came around and they threw a bottle at my mom's feet while she was sweeping. And I remember getting so mad and running up to the car, running behind the car in the middle of the street and yelling at them to get out of the car. It's like, get out of the car. Come back, and I was upset. And I remember my mother went in and the same car came back and they pulled up and 5 guys got out and they came up to me and they pushed me. And they were like, what are you gonna do, punk? What are you gonna do? And I just stood up and I said, I'm not afraid of you. And I don't know, for some funny reason, I used to imagine that I could turn into the Incredible Hulk. I don't know why, but I was young and I was into cartoons and comics, and I guess I secretly wished that I could turn into the Incredible Hulk or something, but I felt like maybe I could turn into a superhero or something. But I fantasized about that, but I wasn't afraid. I figured even if I got beat up, as long as I fought back, I wasn't going to stay down no matter what. So one of the kids pushed me and I pushed him back, and he swung at me, I swung back. And I got him really good in the face, and then his other friends came back and they got bats. They got bats out of the car and they started hitting me with bats. And I started dodging the bats with my arm and they hit me. But the funny thing is, I didn't feel anything. You don't feel anything when you're getting beat with bats because of your adrenaline, I didn't feel anything. So it played with my fantasy. I was like, man, I must be a superhero. I'm not feeling any bats here. I'm not feeling any pain. I'm getting hit everywhere. And finally, thank God, this guy was walking by, a Puerto Rican guy. I think his name was Miguel. He's a big, big Puerto Rican guy with a hat. He saw me. He ran up to the guys. Hey, get away, man. That's not fair. Because it was 5-on-1. And, I walked in and I had all these bruises on me. And my mother called the cops, and the cops came, and it was no big deal. My mother got upset at the cops because they were like, well, just keep them in the house. It wasn't a big deal to them, so she was upset. I was 12 years old.